Hello, everybody. Welcome to Do the Work Sports. Today, we're going to be talking about Alabama versus Michigan. These teams were itching for this matchup in the Citrus Bowl. These teams were looking to prove themselves and to break the tiebreaker they had with each other. Alabama has 2 wins, and Michigan has 2 wins against Alabama. This was the tiebreaker, the fifth game, the fifth time these teams have ever met, and it didn't go the way Michigan was hoping. They would end up falling to Alabama, 35-16. Michigan came out yesterday in the first drive. They went 3 and out. Shea Patterson did not look his sharpest. Alabama on the first drive throws the ball deep down the field. One play, one scored, one touchdown. That's how that started out. Alabama would then give the ball back to Michigan. Michigan would answer right back and tie the game up with a touchdown of their own. So this looked to be like a really good game, and this was a good game clipped to the fourth quarter. Michigan would actually lead 16-14 going into the half. Alabama just could not seem to stop the run of Michigan. Shea Patterson couldn't hit any of his targets. It seemed like he was struggling with his deep passing. He overthrew a lot of his receivers, and it would come back to haunt him when the game was really coming down to the wire, because Alabama would get the ball back, start the half, and they scored a touchdown, kind of almost identical to the way they scored the touchdown to start the game. And Michigan would not score any more points through the third or fourth quarter. It looked like they was going to, and then Shea Patterson threw an interception. And you could just tell at that point in time, it seemed like Michigan had just given up. It was 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They was down 2 scores at this point in time. And it was a shame to see them just kind of give up and let Alabama kind of just do what they wanted and do what they willed. It was a better game than what the score told, at least in the first half. In the second half of this game, you could tell that Nick Saban was out-coaching Jim Harbaugh at every turn. Jim Harbaugh seemed like they got away from the run game that was so successful for the longest time before trying to go back to it, but by the time they went back to it, it was too late. They started, I don't know what the thinking was, and maybe if they come out and start passing the ball, it would throw Alabama off, knowing that Alabama would plan and scheme for the run better. And I'm going to tell you what, folks, I don't know what's going on, and I don't know what Michigan's going to do with Jim Harbaugh. I know Jim Harbaugh has his fans. I get it, and I understand why people would want to keep Jim Harbaugh. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm in the middle. I don't care either way. But here's some stats. Jim Harbaugh's been there 5 years. This is the end of his contract. Michigan has been rumored that they don't plan on leaving or letting go of Jim Harbaugh. But Jim Harbaugh's record so far in 2015, he went 10-3. 2016, he went 10-3. 2017, he went 8-5. 2018, jumped back up to 10-3. And this year, he will finish 9-4. This is during the regular season, of course. And this was all under Jim Harbaugh's reign so far. Jim Harbaugh has only managed to win one bowl game, and that was his first year, the Citrus Bowl against Florida. Last year, I believe that Michigan had the better team last year, also, when they lost to Florida in the Peach Bowl. I don't know what happened to that defense the last 2 games of the year, when you looked at that Michigan defense from last year, and that defense that they had Devin Bush, Chase Winovich, just to name a couple, Rashard Gary. This defense was nasty. This defense was second in the nation before playing Ohio State, and Ohio State just completely conquered this defense and demolished it. Then it goes against Florida, a team that was not on Ohio State's caliber last year, a team that I believe, like I said, that Michigan was better than, but you would never be able to tell. At least that day, they was not better. The best team showed up for Florida, and Florida would win. And I don't take anything away from a team that wins or wins at a game. You don't take nothing away from that team. You may not like the outcome. There might be certain things that happen. But at the end of the day, that team was still the better team that day. And you don't take nothing away from them. And I'm not taking nothing away from Florida. They showed up. They apparently was ready to play when Michigan wasn't. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not against Jim Harbaugh staying. But you cannot tell. You can't sit there as an organization, as a league, as a team, as a board at Michigan and say having these 500 seasons is all right. That's going to cut it. The 2 biggest gains for Michigan is when they make a bowl game, is that bowl game in the game against Ohio State. Listen, I understand he has a better record than Brady Hoke. This team performs better with Jim Harbaugh, and I think Jim Harbaugh is a good coach. I don't think he's a bad coach, but he got out-coached yesterday, and I can't sit here and fathom and tell you that Ryan Day is a better head coach than Jim Harbaugh. So I don't know what happened this year. I've said it, if you want to know more about Ryan Day and what I think about that, check out my video where it says Ryan Day will fade away. Right now we're talking about Jim Harbaugh. If you want to keep Jim Harbaugh, that's fine, but you need to sit down and you need to tell him he needs to do one or two things, but he really should do both. He needs to start winning some bowl games, and he needs to start beating Ohio State. As Michigan fans, we deserve that much. Listen, yeah, we can go 500 all day long, but if we're not winning the big games, then it's all for nothing. That's like when Cincinnati Bengals went like 6 years on the road to the playoffs and they never got past the first round. You got to make a statement. You got to say we deserve to be here. The recruiting class this year, we placed second behind Ohio State. And Ohio State only got 2 5-star recruits. Michigan got 14 4-stars and 13 3-star recruits. Ohio State got 14 4-stars and 3-star recruits. So it's not the talent gap. I know at one point in time, Jim Harbaugh was asked about the talent gap. And he said, I'll answer your questions, but I won't answer your insults. But it is a legitimate question, in my opinion. The way I look at it, that's a legitimate question you need to ask. What is going on? Why are we getting blown out by Ohio State? It's not the fact that we're losing to Ohio State's the problem. It's the fact that Ohio State is making us look bad. It's the fact that we're going to these bowl games and we can't seem to get that win. He's 1-4 in bowl games right now, and I understand you can't win them all. And I'm not asking that he wins every bowl game. What I'm asking is if he's going to go to a bowl game and Michigan decides to keep Jim Harbaugh, then by God, he needs to win a bowl game if he goes. He's going to have to legitimize himself. He has to say that he is a coach that can win these big games. It seems, the joke's going around, he can win these games against Indiana. He can win these games. He's been able to win these games against Michigan State. He's been able to win these games against teams that, and that's another thing. When's the last time Michigan's beat a ranked opponent on the road? You got to win these games. These are the games that matter. It doesn't matter if this was Michigan, Ohio State. This doesn't matter if this is Clemson. It doesn't matter if this is Alabama. It doesn't matter. Them are the games that you need to win. The games where the nation is watching, when the whole Big Ten nation is watching, when all of the college football is watching, and they're going to be, them are the games you got to win. Like I said, I'm not expecting to win them all. I'd be foolish to think we can win them all. You gotta be realistic sometimes. This year, Ohio State was the better team on paper, but Michigan could have still won that game. Anything can happen on any given Saturday. And I don't believe Alabama was that much better than us. I don't believe Alabama was that much better than Michigan. I should say, not us, Michigan. I'm speaking out of frustration. I'm speaking out of facts and realistics. Jim Harbaugh, if Michigan decides to keep you, Michigan needs to sit down. The athletic director needs to sit down and say, look, we're going to keep you for such and such years. And by the way, 3 years should be max. No more, no 5 years, no 4 years. Matter of fact, I'd settle for maybe 1 or 2 years. I wouldn't even give him 3. Let him show us that let him show us, the fans, let him show the college football realm that Michigan and Jim Harbaugh mean business when they go to these big games. It's not a talent gap. It's not the referees. The referees called one of the best games I've ever seen yesterday. They was letting them play because I seen some play calls that could have got called on both teams, but they let them play. It was a good referee game. But for whatever reason, when it comes to the big games, Jim Harbaugh just can't seem to get that victory. The games that matter. I'm going to tell you what. Jim Harbaugh is a better coach than most. I know he's a better coach than what's been shown on paper. That's why I'm indifferent if we keep him or not. We do have a winning record with him. When Michigan had Cora as a coach, they had winning records, winning seasons. Under Rodriguez, no. Under Hoke, his first year, and maybe 1 year after that, that was it. Jim Harbaugh's been the best, most solid coach. At least he's consistent when it comes to having a 500 average season or more. But like I said, them 500 seasons mean nothing if you can't win the big games and the games that matter the most, which is bowl games and the game, the rivalry game. So tell me what you guys think. Should Michigan keep Jim Harbaugh? Or should we part ways? And if we do keep him, how many years should we keep him? If Michigan decides to part ways, who then do we go after? Who then do we pick up? I'm just going to throw a name out there. Because I don't see him staying at Arizona State. And that's Marvin Lewis. The man was successful in NFL. And I think as a head coach in college, he'd outcoach about anybody. The man's a smart man. I know I mentioned Cincinnati making the 6 playoffs and wasn't able to make it, and that was under Marvin Lewis's reign. But college level football is different than NFL level football. And I think he might be a good fit if they decide to leave Jim Harbaugh. But I don't see Michigan departing ways with Harbaugh at all. But if they're going to keep him, they need to lay down the law. They need to know and let's a stake right now. So tell me what you guys think in the comments. What do you think the problem is with Michigan right now? If you like this stream, if you like this content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It will alert you to every time I come with a new video. And I'll talk to you guys later here at Do the Work Sports. Bye.